everybody, I'm Teresa, and this is day 4 in week 5 that I'm out of school, and I read you chapter 9 of Amelia, Bedelia Unleashed yesterday, so today I'll read you chapter 10. Chapter 10, 2 for 1. Deanna and Eric arrived at Charlie's house in Eric's mobile dog grooming van. Painted on the side of the van was a sign that said, "Woof! Woof Groomer." There was also a giant picture of the head of a happy barking dog with the words "woof woof" coming out of its mouth. Underneath the picture was Eric's business slogan. The groomer dogs ask for my name. Deanna introduced Eric to Amelia, Bedelia, and Charlie. Then they led Pierre, who was wrapped up in towels, through the back door of the van and hoisted him onto the grooming table. "Okie dokie," said Eric. "Let's see what we're up against." Charlie slowly peeled the towels off Pierre. Eric let out a loud whistle. He walked around Pierre 4 times. And then Eric shook his head, looked at Charlie, and asked, "You did this?" Charlie nodded. "Man," asked Eric, "what did you use for clippers and weed whacker?" Eric, these kids feel bad enough, said Deanna. "Can you help them out?" Eric shrugged. "I don't know, guys. Only time can repair this. In a couple of months, when his hair grows back, I'll come over and clip him, right?" But, said Amelia Bedelia, "the dog show is tonight." "I really wish I could help," said Eric, "but see for yourself. One side is perfect, and the other side is a train wreck. I'm just a groomer, not a magician. There's nothing you can do." "There's nothing you can do?" asked Deanna. Well, said Eric, "you would have to rethink this dog completely." "Pierre is a poodle," said Charlie. "Thinking isn't going to change that. My dad always says that there are 2 sides to everything," said Amelia Bedelia. "Pierre definitely has 2 sides. Can you make the best of each side?" Said Eric. "You might be onto something, Amelia Bedelia." He walked around Pierre again and said, "If we keep this one side like a perfect show poodle, but make the other something really fun, well, that could look cool," said Deanna. "What do you think, Charlie?" asked Amelia Bedelia. "After all, Pierre is your dog." Charlie shrugged. "Well, Pierre doesn't stand a chance of winning anything now," he said. "So I guess it's worth a shot." Eric smiled. "After I finish, he said, "you'll have the most amazing dog in town." Eric went right to work. He carefully groomed the poodle's side until It was absolutely perfect and fluffy and poofy. Then he began to trim the other side. He clipped and hummed and fluffed and puffed and tweaked and twirled. Amelia Bedelia thought Eric looked like a famous artist creating a masterpiece. She thought Pierre was smiling too. Well, said Eric finally, what do you think? Amelia, Bedelia, Diana, and Charlie studied Pierre. They all agreed that he looked interesting, but something was missing. It needs to be even more dramatic, said Eric. Dramatically different, said Diana. I once saw a dancer who had a fabulous costume. One side was a fancy white dress, and he looked like a woman, but when he turned, the other side was a fancy black tuxedo, and he looked like a man. When he danced, he played both parts. I'll never forget it. Eric was nodding again. Yes! Fancy! Black, fancy, white. Then he turned and asked, how do you guys feel about dying? I really don't want to, said Amelia Bedelia. I'm way too young. I might as well, said Charlie. My mom is going to kill me anyway when she sees Pierre. Diana smiled. Eric means dyeing something another color, she said. Charlie said, Eric, would you mind if I dyed Pierre's wild side black? Go for it, said Charlie. I've got nothing to lose. Amelia Bedelia nodded. She liked the way Charlie thought about things and how flexible he was. Diana and Eric whipped up some black dye in the sink in the van. Don't worry, this is a vegetable dye, Eric said. It will wash out in a few days. Amelia, Bedelia, Charlie, and Diana watched as Eric brushed on the dye. Pierre stamped his feet once or twice, but otherwise he seemed to like the feel of the dye brush. When Eric stepped back from the table, they were all quiet. Wow, said Charlie finally. Pierre looks amazing. Bravo, Eric, said Diana as she gave him a hug. Pierre looks fantastic. He sure does, said Amelia Bedelia. He's 2 dogs in one. Bye everybody, I'll read you chapter 11 tomorrow.